What is up, guys? It's Richard, your favorite design lead here with a quick video tutorial on making engineering drawings. So we're all going to be doing this in one take because I'm about to be late to our leadership meeting. So here we go. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click File, you're going to want to click Open, and that's going to bring you to this screen. And you're going to want to download this ME350 drawing template from our Google Drive. You're gonna boot that shit up, and then you're going to go to Part Drawing over here. Then you're going to go over here, you're going to click Save As, and you're going to save this as a different file so that you don't ruin your template. And so let's call this Shell over here. There's some basic information here that you're going to want to fill out. Like, first of all, over here, you're just going to want to double click on these fields over here to completely change them, and we're going to replace this with BLTH for Blue Lab Titan. Our title, part name, we're just going to call Shell. I personally like keeping everything in all caps. Drawing number, eventually we'll have this, but we'll just call this 001 for now. Revision, I don't know what that is. Quantity, we can change to 1 over here. And your name, again, I like typing mine in all caps. And your date, you're going to put in today's date over here. Alright, so normally you would get a lead to check this and they would put in their name over here. Also over here, we're going to usually want to put in our material, so this might be like aluminum or something, but for now, since we're making out of cardboard, I'm just going to leave that material blank. Usually finish is always going to be burr free. If you have revisions over here, if it takes more than one pass, normally you would put those over here with some of your notes. And so that's just going to be all we want to fill out for our information at the bottom. After you're done filling everything out, you're just going to want to click this check mark over here, and then you're back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into View Layout. You're going to click on Model View up here, and you're going to want to either browse for your document and find it in here, but since I already have it open, I'm just going to double click on this, and then you'll see that over here I'm controlling one of the views over here, and specifically this is going to be the front view over here. Okay, we're just going to plop that down anywhere on our screen over here. Okay, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to hit Control Z, we're going to hit Model View. Let's double click this again. Let's click on this thing over here that says front when you highlight over it, yeah? So then we're going to put that down over here. If you drag to the right over here, you get the right hand side view, and if you drag to the top over here, you're going to get the top view. If you drag diagonally over here, you're going to get the isometric view. So let's just put all these views down for now. And one thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to actually want to see hidden lines on everything except for the isometric view. So we're just going to change this. I put hidden lines on everything. Why is that? Because when we click on this, you'll see that the display style, we're using the parent style, and this is the parent over here, the front view. So all we're going to do is for this isometric view, we're just going to click on it, we're going to change that style to have hidden lines removed, and bingo bango, you're all good. But one thing that we really hate about this drawing actually is that this slot piece over here is actually a hidden line, and we want to actually generally reduce the number of hidden lines inside of our drawing. So we're actually just going to highlight everything over here, and we're just going to delete everything. Maybe not highlight, but I'm just going to click on each of these things individually and delete them. Except for this one over here. This one over here, we're going to right click, we're going to go into drawing views, and then we're going to go into relative view. So now what does this do? This just opened automatically once I hit relative view. And you're just going to want to have this box highlighted. Our front view, we don't want this face anymore because this turns into our right face, and we're going to have to deal with hidden lines back here. So I'm just going to flip this around by using my mouse wheel and clicking down my mouse wheel. I'm just going to click on this face for the front view, and for my right view, I'm going to click on this face with the slot over here. I'm going to hit that check mark, and bada bing, bada boom, you got this right here. You're going to plop that down right next to our friend over there. And we're going to delete this original view. Yep. Get the fuck out of here. We're gonna move that back. Alright, now is the part where I start forgetting things. I think we just click on this, which pulls up the menu bar, and we're just going to hit projected view, and yeah, there we go. Now it's the same thing again. When you drag to the right, get the right hand side view. I'm going to click once to place that thing, and I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click again to place this thing, and I'm going to go diagonally out, and we're going to have this very nice isometric view. But remember, for our isometric view, actually I lied, for all these other views we want hidden lines, but for our isometric view we don't want any hidden lines. And there you go. Once you have all of these placed down, it's no biggie. This is sort of out of place. We're just going to move it into where there's space. Usually we just put it in the top right here. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about how we dimensions these things. So again, the purpose of, I guess, engineering drawings, and maybe I should have said this at the beginning, is that you can just sort of take in this sheet of paper along with your manufacturing plan, and then you should just be able to build the part, right? Like if you gave this to a machinist, he should be able to build this part, he or she. So obviously this is going to need to convey all the necessary information, all the dimensions and stuff. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. The first thing we're going to do is I like to start with the front view. Go into this annotations tab here, and this should look awfully familiar. This is just the sketching stuff that we had for SolidWorks. Let's zoom in here. Let's take this edge, click on it, boom, dimensioned. Let's go and we can take this dimension over here, boom, dimensioned, right? So typically, just for stylization, I personally like to have the outer dimensions, so everything on the same side. I like to have the outer greatest dimension furthest out, and then you just stack them sort of like this, right? The reason that we don't dimension, I guess, from here to here is because you can obviously do math and figure out, oh, this is just 4 inches, it's just the difference between these two. So one other important sort of thing is, like, typically it's taboo to over dimension things. So over here, I'm going to get this edge. Let's put it down at the bottom here. Actually, this is going to be 8. This is going to be 7.5, and then we also need to know one of these. This thickness is going to be 1/4 inch. Okay, there we go. Okay, and just move this a little bit to give ourselves a little bit more room. Okay, let's just start with the dimensions of everything. So over here, you're going to see that the dimension that we're missing is just this edge over here. We already know that this side is 8 because we dimensioned it in our front view, so we don't have to do anything for that one. And then over here, we don't really have to dimension much of the edges, but we do have to dimension these holes, or specifically the slot, I guess. So we're just going to click on that. We're going to get its radius, we're going to get its length, and we're also going to want to get its distance between the top edge. So let's just make it look pretty, something like that, okay? The thing with holes, though, is typically we want to dimension to 3 decimal places. And if you looky over here, these are our tolerances, right? And so you're going to see 2-place decimal, means that you can only have, when whoever's machining this, right, they have like super precision machines with computers. Usually, we're gonna be cutting this out of cardboard, but if you were to use an electronic lathe or mill, you would be able to get within these decimal points really well. So for 2-place decimal points, we're going to only want to be between 0.01 tolerance. And for 3 decimal points, that means that we want to be even more precise, right? And so for holes, typically, especially because like our pin is going to be going through here, we're going to want to have this even more precise. So we're just going to double click on this, and then over here in the tolerance precision side of things, you're just going to want to click to 3 decimal places. And you're going to see that doesn't change, which is sort of a problem, but we'll come back to that and fix it. Just make sure that you have that there for now. For the same thing for distances between holes, those are also usually really important. So we're going to want to make that 3 decimal places as well. So the next thing that we're going to do is, so these are actually dimensioned properly now, it's just that we can't see them. Why can't we see them? Well, that's because we have leading zeros turned off. And after, remember, you're going to want to go into tools up here, you're going to want to go into options, and then you're going to want to go into document properties, dimensions, leave these alone, but you're going to want to show trailing zeros. Bada bing, bada boom, hit OK, and bam. Let's just reformat some of this stuff to make it look a little bit prettier. So yeah, there you go. So you're a machinist, pretend we're role-playing now. You're a machinist, you're looking at this, and you're like, okay, boom, I know how tall this thing is. It's going to be 24 inches tall. Boom, I know how where to cut this slot. It's just going to be 20 inches up. How big do I cut the slot? Oh, 7.5 inches, right? With leaving 0.25 inches on each side. For this hole, I know, oh hey, I have to be extra careful over here, just because this is 3 decimal places now, so my tolerance is even lower than my 2 decimal places, right? I don't know if this should be 3 decimal places too, actually. I'll just leave it at 2. There's probably a more technical answer to all of that. But yeah, basically, after that's done, the last thing that we are going to want to do is talk about center lines. So what are center lines? Center lines mark the middle position and how much of the material a hole passes through in different views, okay? So obviously, like over here, you wouldn't mark a center line because right now we're looking sort of directly at the hole. And it makes more sense, I guess, when I explain it from the front view. So like in the front view, we are going to have a center line for the slot. And you can see that the slot starts up here and it goes down here. And we can mark that position of that slot by clicking the center line tool, then zooming in, clicking on that line until it turns blue. We need a second datum, so we're going to go down here. And then you're gonna see, what did that do? Well, that put in these 3 sort of dotted lines. You have dotted lines, excuse me. You have long, short, long, and that just basically means that it's a center line. So there's a hole passing through there, over here, okay? And so like, the next question is, okay, where else do we put center lines onto our drawing? And the only other place we would want to put them is up here on the top. So you're going to want to click this line once, you're going to want to click this line once, and bada bing, bada boom, you got center lines there. With all that being done, let's just hit this check mark over there. You're gonna hit save, and then that's basically it. In our next video, we're going to go over manufacturing plans, and hopefully it'll be as quick and painless as this video. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.